imbued with good centeredness, nationalistic spirits, and training of students in informal and non-formal education and competence among stakeholders. Okay? Now, this will be the course intended learning outcomes of our course. So upon the completion of this course, a student should be able to understand the theory and practice of Prodman and its impact and the success of the organization. Learn to evaluate different business situations and apply concepts learned from the course. So therefore, since you are coming from different organizations, so we will be able to understand, or you will be able to share some experience, some best practices of your organizations. No? We need also to identify and learn different activities undertaken to man operations in the manufacturing and service organizations. But we're not only focused with manufacturing and service organizations. So we see to it that we could able to tackle your field of work. No? That's why I'm asking your field of work a while ago. Then identify the different methods in matching demand and controlling the inventory and determine its impact in the organizations. So learn different tools and techniques used by production and operation management practitioners and how it can be used in a corporate world. Develop application integration of production management with other management functions within the organizations. And familiarize, understand, and appreciate all about ISO standard and Philippine Quality Award. So this will be the lesson, no? So August 7, that is course orientation, that is today. And then we're going to discuss the historical evolution of production and operation management. Tomorrow, since tomorrow is Sunday, later I will give your topic to discuss. No? So all of you are required to create your presentation tomorrow. So we don't have class tomorrow for you to do your assignments. No? And you need to send it early to me, no, your presentation. So as part of your attendance for tomorrow. Okay? So August 14, that is production system, forecasting, capacity planning, and facility planning. On August 15, material planning, material requirement planning, employee productivity, and work measurement. August 21, inventory management control, quality and control, supply management, or supply chain management, ISO standard, specifically the 9001-2015, and the Philippine Quality Award, PQA SME criteria for performance excellence. And 22 is presentation of the case studies. Then August 28, that is the requirement submissions. Okay? So what do we expect from you in this class? So in these ordinary times, our learning environment is constantly changing. Hence, we also adapt to the demands and to the challenges of the time. So as lifelong learners, we expect you to comply with the schedule requirements, as these were meticulously developed based on the needs of the times and requirements of the course. And since the class is online, absences will not be excused, excluding, of course, unavoidable circumstances. Also, compliance will be strictly followed since most class activities are asynchronous. So there are lessons and online conferencing sessions which are specifically scheduled. So should you miss one or two of these, it is solely your sole responsibility to catch up and keep track of the class pacing. So what materials will you need for the course? Work device, of course, and MS Office application must be installed in your laptop. Okay. Of course, for the entire course, we are using Zoom, no, as our teleconferencing tools. So this will be the grading system or the course evaluation. So major exam, that is 40%. Assessment evidence, including recitations, presentations, no, and 30%. For case study, that is 10%, and your attendance is 10%. Okay, so this will be my email address, FB account, and my YouTube account. Okay, so good luck and enjoy the rest of the meetings. Okay, so to start with, no, with our lesson for today, that is, of course, an introduction or the historical summary of operations in management. Before may I proceed, do you have any questions so far?
Wala naman,
Wala
sir.
naman
Sir.
po. Wala po.
Okay. Production or operation management is the process of combining and transforming diverse resources employed in the organization's productions, operation subsystem into value-added products or services in a regulated way in accordance with the organization's rules. And as a result, it is the part of an organization that is responsible for converting a variety of inputs into the necessary products or services within the required quality level. Production management, of course, it refers to a set of interconnected management tasks, no, that are involved in the creation of certain products. When the same notion is applied to the management of services, the resulting set of the management task is known as operation management. Now, we start from the history. Okay, so operation and production management have been recognized as significant aspect in the country's economic progress for over 2 centuries. No, the traditional understanding of factory management dates back to Adam Smith's recognition to the economic benefits of labor specifications in the 17th century. So he suggested that jobs be broken down into subtasks and that workers be assigned to specialized duties in which they may become highly skilled and efficient. F.W. Taylor in the early 20th century actually no, put Smith's theories into practice and developed scientific management, and many procedures were created between the 1930s that favored the orthodox viewpoint. No? So this table gives a quick overview of the contribution to industrial management. Now, from 1930s to 1950s, the term production management became accepted. No? Managers developed approaches that focus on economic efficiency in production as F.W. Taylor's books became more generally known. Workers, no, were scrutinized in great deal, no, scrutinized in great detail in order to minimize inefficient attempts and increase efficiency. Simultaneously, no, psychologists, socialists, and other social scientists began to investigate individuals in their behavior in the workplace. So, wait. Okay. So, newer, more complex analytical methodologies were also given by economists, no, mathematicians, and of course, the computer socialists. With the arrival of 1970s, two major shifts in our perspective appear. The most visible of them was a shift in economy, service, and manufacturing sectors, no, which was reflected in the new moniker operations management. So, as the service sector grew in importance, the shift from production to operations highlighted the expansion of our area to exclude service firms. And the second, more appropriate development was the beginning of a focus on synthesis in the management processes rather than merely analysis. Now, how about the concept of production? Okay, so the production functions is part of an organization responsible for converting a variety of inputs into required outputs or products, no, of the specified quality level. Excuse. The step-by-step conversion of one form of material into another form through a chemical or mechanical process to create or enhance the utility of the product to the user, and according to the definition of the production. As the result, production is a value-adding process, and there will be value addition at each level of the processing. Production, according to Edward Buffa, is a process by which commodities and services are created. So manufacturing custom-made products such as boilers with a certain capacity, constructing flats, some structural fabrications, works for selected clients, and so on, are example of production, as are manufacturing standardized products such as cars, buses, no, motorcycles, radios, and televisions. So this will be the schematic production system. So we have an input, the transformation process, okay, and the outputs. So what will be the inputs? The men, materials, machine, information, and the capital. And the transformation process, we could able to design a product, process planning, production control, maintenance, and of course the output will be the products or the services. And as you can see, the environment and the feedback information will be the continuous inventory, quality, and the cost. Now, excuse, the production system. The part of an organization's production systems that creates products is known as the production system. No? It is the activity of combining and transforming resources moving inside a defined system in a regulated manner to generate value in accordance with management policies. And the following, there are some characteristics, no, of the production system. Because production is planned activity, each production system must have a goal. No? The system converts different inputs into useful outputs, no? As what we viewed a while ago. It does not function in a vacuum from the rest of the organization system. And there is activity feedback, no, which is necessary for controlling and improving system performance. Now, how about the job shop production? Okay. Job shop production is defined as the production of a single or a small number of products developed and manufactured to the specification of clients within a predetermined time and cost. This is distinguished by its modest volume and wide range of products. A job shop is a collection of general purpose machines, no, organized into department. No, each work has its own set of technological requirements, requirement processing on machines in a specific order. Now, what will be the characteristic of a job shop production? When there is a high diversity of products and low volume, the job shop production system is used. Again, we use job shop production when there is a high diversity of products and low volume. Okay, general purpose machines and facilities are used. Needs highly skilled operators who can approach its work as a challenge due to its individuality. A large supply of materials, tools, and space component or spare components, and for sequencing the requirements of each product, capacity for each work center in order prioritize detailed planning is required. So how about the advantages? In applying job shop production, the benefit of workshop production, as I mentioned, is a wide range of items can be produced using general purpose machines and facilities. No, operator will grow more proficient and competent since its work provides opportunities for them to learn, and operators' full potential can be realized, and there is room for unique ideas and inventive solutions. But if there is an advantages, there are limitations. No? So some of the drawbacks of workshop production: expenses are higher owing to frequent setup modifications, of course. So higher inventory levels at all levels, resulting in higher inventory costs. Production planning is, of course, time consuming, and a larger amount of areas is required for job shop production. So how about the batch production? The American Production and Inventory Control Society, or APEX, no, defines batch production as a type of manufacturing in which the job moves through the functional departments in lots or batches, with each lot perhaps having a distinct routing or routing. No? It is defined by the production as production of a small quantity of products at regular intervals, which are then stocked and sold. Now, what is the characteristics, no, of a batch production? So, when the following conditions apply, the batch manufacturing system is used when production runs are shorter. Okay? When both the plant and the machinery are adaptable. When a plant and machinery setup is employed to produce a batch or items and a change of setup is necessary to process the next batch. And of course, when compared to job order production, manufacturing lead time and cost are lower. So advantages of batch production. So some of the benefits of batch productions: more efficient use of plant and machinery. It encourages the development of functional specialization. When compared to work order production, the cost per unit is cheaper. No? Lower capital expenditures on equipment and machinery, and the ability to handle and process large number of products, and the operators are satisfied with their jobs. Okay? So what will be the limitations in batch production? Because of the uneven and lighter flows, no, material handling is complicated. No? Production planning and control are difficult to manage. Compared to continuous manufacturing, work in process inventory is larger, and it increased setup costs as a result of frequent changes in setup. How about the mass or large-scale production? So the mass or large-scale production refers to a continuous manufacture of discrete pieces of or assemblies. No? The high volume of production justify this production strategy. So a line of product arrangement is used to organize the machines. No? Standardizations of products and processes exist, and all outputs follow the same path. No? So what are the characteristics of the mass or large-scale production? Mass production is used product and process sequence standardizations. No? Machines that are dedicated to a certain task and have higher production capabilities and output rates. A large number of items are available. Production cycle time is reduced, and reduce the time of inventory in the process. Okay. Then line of production that are well balanced. No? Materials, components, and part flow in a continuous and error-free manner. It is simple, no, to plan and control production, and the material processing can be automated totally. So the advantages of mass production: faster manufacturing rate with shorter cycle times, line balancing results in higher capacity utilizations, the operators with fewer skills are required. No? The limitations, no? Before the limitations, additional advantages, no, of course, the process inventory is low, the cost of production per unit is minimal. For the limitations, a single machine failure will bring an entire production line to a halt. No? So, for example, if this machine failed, so the entire production line is to halt, of course. Modification in product design necessitate considerable changes in line layout, because this machine is designed for this layout. So again, modification the product design necessitate considerable changes. No? Significant investment in manufacturing facilities. So because, for example, this machine is extended for car, no, for this type of car, no, then the slowest process determines the cycle time. The next one is the continuous production. So from the beginning operations to the finished product, production facilities are organized according to the sequence of operations. So material handling services or material handling devices such as conveyors, no? I think you're familiar with conveyors, no? Transfer devices and other devices are used to make the objects move through the sequence of processes. So under the following condition, continuous production is used. So fixed plant and equipment with no room for error. The material handling process completely automated dapat. The process carried out in a predetermined order, and the component materials are difficult to distinguish from the end results. Making plans and schedule is a common occurrence. So what are the advantages for continuous productions? So some of the benefits of continuous productions like a product and process sequence standardizations, faster manufacturing rate with shorter cycle times, line balancing results in higher capacity utilization, material handling does not require any human intervention because it's totally automated. And people with low talents can work on the assembly line, no? Because of the great volume of production, the unit cost is cheaper. But what will be the limitations? So there is no flexibility to adapt and price a large number of products, no? The cost of installing flow lines is extremely high, and there is a lack of product differentiations for a continuous productions. Now, how about the production management? Production management is the planning, no, organizing, directing, and managing of the production functions actions. No? It mixes and transforms diverse resources employed in the organization's production subsystem into a value-added product in a controlled manner. In accordance with the, of course, it always in accordance with organization's policies. No? Because production management deals with decision-making connected to production processes so that the resulting goods or services are produced according to specifications in the number and by the schedule needed and at a minimum cost. Say by ES Bupa. Okay? Now, what will be the objectives of a production management? The goal of production management is to create goods and services of the appropriate quality and quantity at the appropriate time and at the appropriate manufacturing cost. Okay? Now, when we say right quality or right or excellent quality, no, the product's quality is determined by the needs of the customers. The best quality isn't always the best quality. It is decided by the product's cost and technical attributes as they relate to the specific needs. Okay? Again, the product's quality is determined by the needs of the customers. How about the right quantity? The right or appropriate quantity. The manufacturing company should generate the proper number of products. If they are produced in excess of demands, capital will be trapped, right, in the form of inventory. And if they are created insufficiently, there will be a product scarcity. Okay? So again, the manufacturing company should generate the proper number of products. Okay. How about the right moment or the right time or the perfect moment? One of the most essential criteria used to assess the effectiveness of a production department is delivery timeliness. Take note of it. And as a result, the production department must make the best use of input resources in order to meet its goal. Okay? How about the right manufacturing cost? So right manufacturing costs or manufacturing costs that are appropriate if the manufacturing costs are determined before the product is built. And as the result, every effort should be made to create the item at the predetermined cost in order to minimize the difference between the real and the standard costs or the predetermined costs. Okay? Now, how about the operating system? The operating system translates inputs into outputs that are needed by the client. It transforms physical resources into outputs with the goal of satisfying customer needs, like providing some utility to the consumers. The product is physical good in certain organizations like hotels, no? While it is a service in others like hospitals. An operation system or operational system or functions of an organization is the part of an organization that creates the organization's actual commodities and services. No, by actually Adam and Ronald Ebert define it. So an operating system is a configuration of resources united for the supply of goods or services according to Ray Wild, no? Like bus and taxi services, tailors, hospital, and builders are the example of an operating systems. So what will be the concepts of operations? Now, an operation is characterized by organization's missions, the technology it employs, and the human and managerial procedure it entails. Manufacturing and service operations are two types of operations that can be found in a company. So, a conversion process that involves production produce a tangible output. So, a product, whereas a conversion process that includes service produces an intangible output, a deed, a performance, and an effort. So, distinction between manufacturing operations and service operations. Qualities, the qualities can be used to differentiate manufacturing and service operations. So, the tangible or intangible nature of the output, the consumption of the output, the nature of the activity or the job, of course, the degree of customer engagement, the customer involvement in the conversion, and the performance evaluation. Because manufacturing is defined by tangible outputs or products, no? Output that customer consume over time, jobs that require less labor and more equipment, little customer interaction, no customer participation in the conversion process or in productions, and sophisticated methods for measuring production activities and resource consumptions as products are manufactured. Intangible outputs, no, that consumer immediately outputs that customer consume immediately, job that requires more labor and less equipment, direct consumer contact, frequent customer participation in the conversion process, and basic methods for measuring conversion, activities, and resource consumptions are all characteristic of service. Some services are equipment-based, such as railroad and telephone services, while others are people-based, such as tax consulting and, of course, the hair styling. Now, how about, this will be the operation management framework, the general model of managing operations. As shown in this figure, no, managing operations can be included under a general management functions. No? Model affect human behavior. Thus, operations manager are concerned with planning, managing, and controlling such actions. So when it comes to planning, activities that establish establish a course of actions and guide future decision making is planning. Now, planning is an activity that establishes a course of actions and guides future decision making, as I mentioned. The operations manager establishes the goals for the organization's operation subsystems, as well as the policies and procedures for accomplishing those goals. No? These steps entails defining the functions and focus of operations within the broader strategy of the company. It also entails product development, facility design, and conversion process implementations. On the other hand, in organizing, activities that establishes a structure of task and authority. So, activities that establish a task and authority structured within the operation subsystem. This time, operation manager construct a rule structure in information flow. They identify the activities needed to attain the objectives and delegate power and responsibility for doing them. Okay? Then, the controlling. Activities that ensures that actual performance is in line with expectations. No? The operation managers must exert control by assessing actual outputs and comparing them to plan operations management to guarantee that the plans for the operation subsystems are carried out. The main function here are cost control, quality control, and scheduling control. Now, when it comes to behavior, as what we have here, operation managers are worried with the impact of their planning, organizing, and controlling activities na human behavior. They also want to know how subordinates' behavior can influence management planning, organizing, and controlling. So, their research focuses on how people make decisions. On the other hand, when it comes to models, the operation managers have numerous challenges and must make numerous decisions as they plan, organize, and control the conversion process. They can make their own problems easier by using models like aggregate planning model for examining how best to use existing capacity in short-term break-even analysis to determine break-even volume, linear programming, and computer simulation for capacity utilization decision tree analysis for long-term capacity problem of facility expansion, and computer simulation for capacity utilization decision tree analysis for long-term capacity problem of facility expansions as a simple median approach for selecting the optimum facility locations. Now, the customer service and resource allocation are two categories of operation management goals. Customer service, as I mentioned, the first goal of operating system is to provide customer service that meets their needs. As a result, customer service is primary goal of operation management. The operating system must deliver something that meets the customer requirements in terms of cost and timeliness. And as the result, the primary goal can be met by offering the right thing in the right price and at the right time. This table 1.2 aspect of customer service describe this characteristic of customer service. Specification, cost, in timing for 4 functions. So what are the 4 functions? Manufacture, transport, supply, and service. Now, in general, they are primary sources of customer satisfaction, and as such must be the primary focus of operation managers' customer service goals, right? So in general, a business will strive to meet specific standards on a constraint in a constant basis, no? And the operations manager will play a key role in achieving these goals. So as a result, this goal will affect the operations manager's decision in order to attain the desired level of customer service. Okay? So how about the resource utilization? Another significant goal of operating system is to effectively use resources to satisfy customer needs. No? Like customer service must be offered in conjunction with the attainment of effective operations through resource efficiency. No? So an operating system's commercial failure is caused by inefficient resource allocation or poor customer service. Again, an operating system commercial failure is caused by inefficient resource allocation or poor customer service. That's why, no, in business, we see to it that we could able to be efficient in resource allocation and a good customer service. No, operation management is primarily concerned with resource utilization. That is, getting the most out of resources or minimizing their loss, underutilization, or waste. The extent to which the resources potential has been used can be measured in terms of proportion of available time used or occupied, space utilization, activity levels, and so on. Its metric reveals how well such resources, potential, or capacity are being utilized. And this is referred to as the resource usage goal. An operation management is also concerned with providing excellent customer service, as I mentioned, and maximizing resource use. So, of course, an improvement in one will almost always result in a decline in the other, because both cannot always be maximized. A sufficient performance on both must be obtained. We need also to consider that all operation management action must be conducted with these two goals in mind, and operation managers will confront numerous challenges as a result of this conflict. So, as a result, operations managers must try to strike a compromise between these fundamental goals. So again, the two objectives of operation management are summarized in this table. No? Market concerns. So the strength and limitations of the organizations and other factors will influence the type of balance maintained between and within these core objectives. So as a result, when these goals are created, the operation manager should contribute. How about managing global operations? We are all familiar with the words globalization. Of course, no? Because the term globalization refers to a company's goal, deployment of facilities and operations. The globalization can be characterized as a process in which geographical distance becomes less important in the formations and maintenance of cross-border economic, political, and socio-cultural relationships. It can alternatively be characterized as a worldwide push toward a globalized economic system dominated by supranational corporate trade and financial entities that are not subject to democratic or national government oversight. Now, the movement toward globalization has been fueled by 4 trends. Number 1, improved transportation and communication technology. Open financial statement or financial system. Increase demand for imports, and reduce import restriction and other trade barriers are among them. When a company establishes operation in another country, it has additional challenges because quality and timeliness are being imposed by global markets. Managers should think internationally first and then act locally, rather than thinking locally first and then thinking worldwide. They must also have a thorough awareness of their rivals. It is very important because other key problems of managing multinational businesses include learning new languages and traditions. So having a different management style, unfamiliar laws and regulations, and dealing with varied expenses. So, the main challenges would be addressed while managing global operations through, of course, for us to learn and apply the following principles, as well as those relevant to global operations, supply chain, logistics, and so on. So, from various viewpoints, link global historical events to major drivers in global business. So, develop criteria for conceptualizing and assessing various worldwide operations. No? To link global operation success and failure to their political, social, economic, and technological context. And to foresee global operation trends and create knowledge to world vision regardless of their nation of origin, residency, or studies in a respectful manner of individual of various races, studies, preferences, religion, political affiliation, place of origin, and other factors. No? Now, the scope of production and operation management. Production and operation management is concerned with converting inputs into outputs using physical resources in order to offer the required utilities to customers while also satisfying the other organizational objectives of effectiveness, efficiency, and adaptability. It distinguishes itself from other departments such as people, marketing, finance, and so on by focusing on physical resource conversion. The actions described under production and operation management functions are as follows. No? The location of facilities, plant layout and material handling, product, process design, production and planning control, quality control, material, and maintenance management. Now, so the location of facilities is also important. The location of operation facilities is a long-term capacity decision that requires a long-term commitment to the especially static characteristics that affect a firm. No, it is crucial, no, for an organization's strategic decision making because it addresses issues such as where should our major operations be based. Because a considerable investment is made in establishing plant and machinery. Choosing a location is a critical decision. Take note of it. Because an incorrect plant site may result in the total loss of all plant and machinery equipment investment. As a result, the site of a factory should be determined by the company's expansion plan and policy, product diversification plans, changing raw material sources, and a variety of other considerations. Because the goal of a location study is to identify the best site that will provide the most benefit to the company. So, the plant layout and material handling is important because the physical organizations of facilities is referred to as a plant layout. No? In the conversion process, it is the configuration of departments, no, work centers, and equipment. The ultimate goals of the plant architecture is to create a physical configurations that meets the desired output, quality and quantity in the most cost-effective way possible. Plant layout is plan of an optimal arrangement of facilities comprising employees, operational equipment, storage space, material handling equipments, and all other supporting services, as well as the design of the best building to accommodate all of these facilities, according to James Moore. No? The moving of materials from the storeroom to the machine and from one machine to the next during the manufacturing process referred to as a material handling. It also known as a craft and science of moving, packaging, and storing products of all kinds. No? With 50 to 75% based on research, no, of the cost of production, it is a specialized activity for a contemporary manufacturing business. Because the cost of production It is the specialized activity for contemporary manufacturing business. And the cost of material handling devices can be decreased by properly sectioning, operating, and maintaining them. So material handling equipment boosts output, improve quality, speeds up delivery, and lowers manufacturing costs. So as a result, material handling is a key concern in the design of both new and existing operations. How about the product design? Okay. The turning of idea into reality is the subject of product design. No? As a survival and growth strategy, any corporate organizations must design, develop, and introduce new products. The most difficult problem that firms confront is developing new items and launching them into the market. There is somebody who are marketing expert here in our class. Product development and production are all involved in the process of identifying a need in turning it into a real product. The product development transform marketing's client needs into technical specification. Then, design the product's numerous features to meet those criteria. Manufacturing is in charge, no, of course, for selecting the processes that can be used to make the product. The product design and development connects marketing, customer wants and expectation, and the actions needed to make the product. How about the process design? The macroscopic decision making of an overall process route for turning raw materials into finished items is known as process design. These considerations include process selection, technology selection, process flow analysis, and facility layout. As a result, the most crucial consideration is process design are to examine the workflow for turning raw materials into completed products and to choose the appropriate workstation for each step in the process. Now, so how about the production planning and control? This one. The production planning and control can be defined as the process of planning production ahead of time, determining the exact path of each item, determining the start and finish dates for each item, and issuing products orders to shops, and monitoring product progress in accordance with orders. I don't know if you're familiar with the slogan, first plan your work, then work on your plan. It encapsulates the notion of production planning and management. So planning, routing, scheduling, dispatching, and follow-up are the main functions of production planning and control. Now, in planning, it entails determining what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and who will do it ahead of time. Because planning is a process of bridging the gap between where we are and where we want to go. It allows things to happen that would not otherwise be feasible. Routing can be defined as the process of selecting the path that each component of a product will take as it progresses from raw materials to final product. Routing identifies the most efficient path to take from one department to the next and from one machine to the next until the raw materials is finished. Then the operational program is determined by scheduling, because scheduling can be defined as the determination of the sequence of operations to be followed, as well as the establishment of time in date of each operations. Dispatching. It is responsible for initiating processes. No? It grants the essential authority to begin a certain task that has already been prepared under the headings of routing and scheduling. As a result, dispatching is defined as the release of orders and instruction for the commencement of productions for any item in accordance with the route, sheet, and schedule charts. Then the follow-up. No? The purpose of follow-up is to report on the progress of work in each shop on a daily basis in accordance with predetermined pro forma, as well as to look into the causes of deviations from the anticipated performance. Now, quality control. A system for maintaining a desired level of quality in the production or service is known as quality control. No? It is the systematic monitoring of numerous aspects that influence the product's quality. No? Quality control focuses on defect avoidance at the source and relies on a good feedback system and corrective action mechanisms. No? The quality control can alternatively be defined as the industrial management strategy for producing uniformly acceptable quality products. It is the full set of actions that ensures that the business produces the highest quality products at the lowest possible cost. Of course, the main goal of the quality control to increase companies' revenue by making the products more appealing to customers, such as by offering longer life, more usability, and maintainability, among other things. Reduce the cost of the company by reducing defects related losses, to achieve manufacturing interchangeably in large-scale productions, to produce high-quality goods at a low cost, and to ensure customer satisfaction with products or services of a high quality level, and to increase consumer goods or consumer goodwill, confidence, and the manufacturer's reputations, and to ensure quality control to inspection as soon as possible and during the manufacturing process to check for variations. How about the material management? Material management is a material or managerial functions that is primarily concerned with the procurement control. No. And it is use of materials as well as the flow of goods services associated with the manufacturing process in order to achieve predefined goals. So the primary goals of materials management: to save money on materials, to efficiently purchase, receive, transport, and store materials while lowering cost. No? Cost savings can be achieved by simplicity, standardization, value analysis, import substitution, and other methods. And to find new sources of supply and establish friendly relationship within them in order to assure a steady supply at reasonable prices, and developing high inventory turnover ratios, and reducing investment related to inventories for use in other profitable objectives. How about the maintenance management? Equipment and machinery are an integral element of the entire production effort in modern industry. So as a result, their idleness or downtime is quite costly. So as a result, it is critical that the plant machinery be well maintained. No? So the primary goal of maintenance management: maintaining the plant in good functioning order at the lowest possible cost with the latest amount, with the least amount or of breakdown. To maintain the equipment and other facilities in such a way that they can be used to their full potential without interruption, and to ensure that other areas of the factory have access to the machines, buildings, and services they need to accomplish their functions at the best possible return on investment. And that's it for today. Now, tomorrow, as I mentioned, will be your research day and preparation of your topic. So I will assign to you tomorrow a case study. So the title is Shena. You can get this case study from Production Operation Management by William J. Stevenson and Erwin McGraw-Hill. So your section A, this will be your case study for tomorrow. This will be the content of your case study. So you need to do an introduction. What will be the issues or concerns? Suggest alternative courses of action, 3 to 5. Recommendation, of course, conclusion, and references. So this will be the format. Aerial, size 12, spacing 1.5, and 8.5 by 11 for your coupon, your size. And this will be your assignment for this will be your assignment. your assigned topic for presentation. Actually, I will post this presentation in our FB group, so don't worry. So as you can see here, production system, forecasting, capacity planning, facility planning, material requirement planning, employee productivity, work measurement up to August 15. Then August 21, inventory management control, quality and control, supply chain management, ISO standard, and Philippine Quality Award. Then August 22, presentation of a case study. Okay. Then August 28, submission of the requirements. Okay, so I think that's it.